we started this podcast, The Reconnect. And it was for us to become to make it more of a reconnection and become more involved and have more conversations with our youth and among ourselves about the issues that plague us as a community and ultimately as a Black society. So with that being said, I want to introduce our panel of hosts. We have the younger of the panel, Darian. So what's up?
How you doing?
We also have the I think he wants to be called Big Daddy Black Bottom, Detroit.
Man, cut it out,
Our
man.
brother, better known as T. And then we have our moderator and co-producer here, Dr. Mwalimu. Pardon me for messing that up, but sorry, fellas. I know it was a little rough. I tried to go off the cuff with it, but I'm gonna make sure I write it down next time we do this live. So, yeah, we're gonna get into this first topic that we wanted to talk about, and I wanted to know, right now today, fellas, with everything that we see going on with the in society, especially the things that are going on the internet, and we got a bunch of women, turning down dates at what's that cheesecake factory, right? Got the girls that got the ideas of I think now you seeing them, what is it, stopping at the red light, twerking on the headlights. So I want to know, fellas, with that being said, and the popularity and growth of sisters like Suki Hana and Sexy Red, are Black men at fault for Black women's behavior today? T, can we get your answer on that first?
Most definitely, I believe we are at fault.
Okay.
But it's not wholehearted. It's more of a we're at fault by default.
Okay.
If you know what I mean. So being absent in our children's lives, especially when it comes to raising our daughters, they lose the sight or the scope of what it feels like to be loved just because you're you. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
And with that being said, at the end of the day, when they lose that, they go looking for love in many forms. They're going to look for it in attention. They're going to look for it from, friendship. Everything is going to be rooted in some type of attention. At the end of the day, what do we say? What do we do? How do we pull them back in? We got to love them. We kind of meet them where they at and try to help them out. I'm going to let somebody else tap in and then I'll jump back in.
Okay. Darian, what you say, man?
I don't remember life without the internet. So,
good point.
So I'm used to seeing behavior online that has been going on since I was real young. And I think over time though, it has became less censored.
Okay.
And I would even say more egregious with how we present ourselves, how we exploit ourselves on the internet.
But why are we saying this is our fault? Like we could see, the behavior, right? But why do we have to take ownership of that? Like what is that? Okay. Why is that?
Now, let me jump in. I'll say this. With that, I think it's because we have not only, like Tia said, we were some of the fathers, not present in daughters' lives, but I think that coming from a brother who, my perspective, I think we have almost given them incentive to act like that. And what do I mean?
We giving them incentive?
Yeah, yes. I'll tell you why. Okay, I'll tell you why. how many of us have dated women that we knew were no good? And I'm saying, like, we knew she was wild, we knew she was on some other shit, but we wound up still dating her anyway. We wound
I
up
think we see that's a nuance. To me, it's like a nuanced question because when we say we dated women who maybe let's say instead of saying ain't shit, let's just say who
right,
wasn't classy or who
right,
wasn't feminine, right?
yeah,
Well, those were the types that we look forward to because we wanted to do certain things with them, correct?
okay, yeah. And that,
Okay.
so go ahead, go ahead. That leads right to what I'm saying. I believe that's leading right to what I'm saying.
Okay, so they in turn uh sort of model a behavior in order to receive a certain type of attention from us, right?
Right.
So I'm what I'm saying is nature takes place.
Yes,
And
sir.
why is it our fault? That's what I'm trying to get to. Because if something happens and a person responds to something, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's our fault the way in which they responded. Is well, I think we have to be careful when we talk about something being our fault.
Okay.
So the reason I said is because we literally are the gatekeepers. We're not the life bringers, but we're the gatekeepers. And it's our job to make sure that we preside over the gate.
So
You know,
what
So
makes us the gatekeepers?
the fact that we are the masculine men, we are the
Do do
protectors,
they
the
do they
provider.
respect do this creature we're talking about respect masculinity?
No,
So stop. If
so
they do
so
not respect masculinity, then that's like me saying, as a teacher. That's like me saying, I'm a teacher and I have no students, but I am a teacher.
but let's say this. Can we say she doesn't respect it, or is it that she hasn't been taught it, or even the understanding of it to respect it? You see what I'm
I
saying?
would agree. Yeah, I would agree with that.
You see, and so
But
here's go ahead.
that will be to me the fault of the mother who hasn't taught her how to deal with authority and masculinity and carrying herself like a lady. That wouldn't be because we the saying, bro. Men love their daughters while women raise them.
So
We raise our sons while women love them, right?
yes, sir.
Okay.
So here's what I would say to that. Here's what I would say to that. In that love, right? She should be shown from her father. Like the mother's raising her, the father's loving her. Just like I'm raising my son, his mother's loving him.
Yes, sir.
She should be shown through that love what a masculine man does, how a masculine
Yes,
man
sir.
handles a woman, a young lady, a woman. The young man should see how a feminine mother should handle him, or how a feminine woman should handle him by the femininity of his mother. And then he would learn masculinity also by being raised by his father, as tough and as intense as that may get. He will learn masculinity by dealing with something that is masculine, just from that perspective of becoming that. And then from the girl's perspective of seeing the masculine man, she would learn it from the love and the guidance and the comfort that he would bring to her. You see what I'm saying? So I think, and just to go back to my point about us incentivizing it, I agree. I totally agree with you. We put it out there. We made it fair seeming, I guess, by being that's what we were looking for and that's what we were accepting. So that's why I would say it is our fault, because when you and I was intending to draw this up, but when we look at the fault thing, one of the etymology of the word fault is fail.
Yes,
So
sir.
so I think that it is our failure to protect her from the perspective that Tia said, and then it is our failure in not in accepting it from the perspective in which I'm saying, having growing
if
up around. Go ahead.
if we add in the failure is us of allowing ourselves to become what we despise, simps. Like we just really haven't taken control. We've started to accept just because we want to be a part of. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of us are victim of that. That's where the failure is. We just haven't been leading in a way that we know how, the way that we've seen. Men learn from experience. You know, that experience comes from granddad and great granddad. You know, granddad was 80 years old and he gave dad experience of 80 years. My dad lived to be 40. You know, he gave experience to me of 40. That's 120 years. And I'm going to pass on. I'm 43 now. So I'm getting ready to pass on 200 years of experience to my son.
But where is the response? Okay, so we understand. Again, none of us are psychologists, right?
Right.
But we understand, and I'm gonna bring this up a lot of times on this show, that I will say that men and women, we could agree psychologically that men are not more or less emotional than women. That's a fact. However, we do process our feelings and emotions differently. So let me play devil's advocate here. We understand that part of our masculinity is aggression. It's aggressiveness. Will we agree?
Yes.
Okay, so we have our brothers out here at war with one another. We shooting and we killing each other. A lot of it is due to mismanaged feelings and emotions. Isn't the woman an emotional creature? So then can I say she is the blame for that?
Absolutely. No, you cannot.
Women, she's to blame for what?
She is. There lies the conundrum. Go ahead, bro.
No. I'm asking. She was to blame. Are you saying blame for men being aggressive, or
are you saying mismanaging the emotions?
Right. What we're saying is that women. We're saying that our women are not acting. Really, what we're saying to me that our women are not acting in a feminine nature.
Exactly.
So how in the hell are we at fault when we are masculine group of people for them acting non-feminine? Let me finish, because I know y'all ready to attack on it, and I'm fine with being attacked. On the flip side, if our brothers or young brothers are out here mismanaging their emotions, right? And we say that the feminine creature is the more delicate one, the one that deals with emotions in a certain type of way, then why can't it be her fault that these things are happening in our neighborhoods with our young brothers butchering each other down? This is emotional mismanagement.
I would say it is.
Okay, go ahead. You would say it is?
I would say it is her fault.
Okay.
Again, it's because we're gatekeepers. We're the order keepers. We keep the order. We're not looking to our women to keep order. And because we have become what we like to call, everybody on this panel know, the thumb in the booty syndrome, bitch assness has crept into our society.
Thumb in the booty?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thumb in the booty. Mama held his ass, cradled him for too long with her thumb in his ass.
I would also say that it's starting a household with managing dysfunction. You know, most people. You said something?
No, go ahead. What'd you say?
It started. You know, it starts in the household with managing dysfunction. You know, we become so accustomed to how we handle things, right? If Jay is saying a woman is the reason why men, and correct me if I'm wrong, men are out here making decisions, emotionally based decisions off of the aggressive nature, that means that we're upkeeping a dysfunction in the house. Would you disagree with that?
Yes, because I don't think there is a household. The issue that we're facing today is that there isn't that type of environment right? There isn't. We don't have. We have a
Communion.
right. We don't have communion. We have a dysfunctional relationship with our sisters.
Okay, 2 minutes, fellas. Okay, two more minutes on this, and then we got to move. Go
Okay,
ahead,
we
fellas.
have a dysfunctional relationship with our sisters, Lamar. And so, with that being said, I'm not saying that we are not to blame. I'm not saying that we are not at fault or that we are at fault, Lamar. What I'm saying is, do women have the same responsibility, and are they held accountable for the egregious acts of our young men in our society? I had to say society because we don't got no community. We don't have no community in our society.
No,
At
we
this,
don't hold them accountable.
okay, so then why are we holding ourselves accountable? Because all I'm doing is saying it's a head side of the coin and a tail side of the coin,
Yeah,
Lamar.
no,
And I agree with you. But at the end of the day, most men are going to understand that we don't really get to change. We don't get to change our clothes. We're going to wear this suit as order. There's no changing it. I don't care what kind of man you are, where you from, what walk of life. You're still going to walk in a certain level of masculinity, even if you have a lot of emotional turmoil, for lack of better words.
I got to push back on that because you've talked so eloquently about the thumb assness syndrome and simps, i.e., bitch ass niggas. There's not guys that's walking in masculinity.
They are.
you said
They are. They're
No.
walking in masculinity. They're just
Ooh.
walking in a lower level, a lower registry of it.
No, I would disagree. I don't think they're walking in their masculinity, but I will say this.
Bring it home.
I think it will boil down. It boils down when we talk about the fault of the mother for the butchering of the young boys and the young boys butchering each other and acting emotional. Yes, because they're really just being sassy with guns. That's what we're sassy ass niggas with guns.